I call on Government Orders of the Day number 1 and number 2.
Government Notices of Motion number 1 and number 2.
Mr. Speaker.
Honourable Amy Adams.
I move that under Section 8 of the Intelligence and Security Committee Act 1996, this House endorse the following as members of the Intelligence and Security Committee: Honourable Christopher Finlayson and Honourable Amy Adams, nominated by the Prime Minister under Section 7(1)(c) of the Act, and David Shearer, nominated by the Leader of the Opposition under Section 7(1)(d) of the Act. I move Government Notice of Motion number 2 in the name of the Honourable Jerry Brownlee. Mr. Speaker, I'm honoured to take the first call on the parliamentary debate on the formation of the Intelligence and Security Committee. The Intelligence and Security Committee is an important part of the oversight mechanisms of the intelligence and security agencies, the New Zealand Security and Intelligence Service and the Government Communications Security Bureau. The committee provides scrutiny on behalf of this House of the agency's policy, administration and expenditure. The committee plays a fundamental role in our democracy. It's a watchdog and a safeguard, a necessary and fundamental oversight to provide New Zealanders with the trust and confidence they expect from our intelligence and security agencies. These agencies exist because we live in a world of growing threats of international terrorism, human trafficking and of cybersecurity. These are very real threats, and we as a country are not immune. We need to safeguard against these threats, and security intelligence plays an important role in protecting New Zealanders both here and abroad against those perils. The committee's governing legislation recognises the need for balance between transparency and secrecy in overseeing the agency's activity. Transparency to enhance the confidence of Parliament and the public that the agencies are properly accountable and operating strictly in accordance with the law, and secrecy so that the sensitive work of the agencies can be adequately reviewed. The transparency side of this balance was enhanced by measures Parliament agreed in its review of 2013. The committee now carries out its annual financial reviews of the agencies in public session, and that will be one of the first duties in the coming weeks, and I'm sure the committee will build on the good work that was done during the first public review in December of 2013. The committee consults with the Inspector General of Intelligence and Security, who has an important independent oversight role on her annual report. The committee is also now required to present an annual report on its activities to the Parliament. At the same time, the government recognises that the need for secrecy remains when reviewing the work of the agencies to ensure that they are able to carry out that work effectively. During this Parliament, the committee will have important roles in the review of the intelligence and security agencies, the legislation governing them, and their oversight legislation that will begin in coming months. In my role as Acting Attorney-General, I will be consulting the committee on the terms of reference for that review and the appointments of the two people who will carry out the review. The reviewers will report their results to the committee for its consideration, and if, as is likely, there are changes to legislation arising from the review, then Parliament can be expected to refer the bill for the committee's consideration. I reiterate that in this context, the government remains committed to a thorough public consultation process on any proposed changes. The government considers that the whole oversight framework for the NZSIS and the GCSB is substantially stronger and more effective than it was 3 years ago. The key pillars of this framework are represented by the Intelligence and Security Committee, the Inspector General of Intelligence and Security, and the Commissioner of Security Warrants. All three are important in building confidence in Parliament and amongst the general public. The Intelligence and Security Committee works on some of the most critical issues facing New Zealand. It's essential to have members with the right skills, understanding and experience to contribute constructively to the committee's work, who understand the criticality of the decisions to be made and who are committed to moving beyond posturing and point scoring and who will participate in a meaningful way. The committee's role is to scrutinise our intelligence agencies and provide a platform for informed political discourse. I'm confident that the proposed membership of the committee will provide the balance of expertise, skills and constructive debate necessary to make the committee an effective part of protecting the core foundations of New Zealand society as we grapple with some of the most complex issues facing this country without looking to use the committee to advance personal agendas. Mr. Speaker, every member comes to this House because we're passionate about this country and we're passionate about making a difference. We live here, we raise our families here, and we care deeply about the rights of New Zealanders and their safety. Every one of us is motivated to ensure we have an accountable and robust system, and I'm confident that the Intelligence and Security Committee will deliver exactly that.
Good speech. Excellent.
Andrew Little.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. I rise to support the motion and to